happens, 'cause the music makes me high. And if I only got one more night, I'm gonna leave out a loud goodbye.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Mr. Von, Mr. Von's channel, Sweatbox, we back, we live, we active here on the channel, yes indeed, you know how we do, still dodging those digital jabs, baby. Let's talk Halo. Now this is going to be this is going to be a pretty long video, I feel like, because I didn't get to do my episode 7 review, you know, things happen, but I want to talk about it. So this is going to be, technically this is going to be episode 7 and an 8 review. It's mostly going to be 8, but I definitely will cover what happened in episode 7. Okay, let's get to it. Episode 7 was the Quan episode. Her and Soren went back to Madrigal so she could finish her storyline with Venture and the whole rebellion thing. The only cool things about it, there was some cool stuff. It wasn't a terrible episode. I'm going to be completely honest. It was the best Quan episode we got, and I'm glad they wrapped up our storyline this way. What's going to be next for the Quan character? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure, but I'm not completely written her off. I'm actually interested to see where they're going to go with it next. I will say that. Soren, absolutely. I definitely want to see what they're going to do with Soren next. Bring my man Soren back. He was so hard in this episode. He put in work. He murdered a bunch of people. It was a moment where I thought, you guys better not kill him off. The moment where he got shot in the neck, I was like, you guys better not kill him. But he shook it off like a true Spartan would. I like that. It was hard. He was putting in so much work. And he got his little monies at the end. Quan's character, man, the scenes that I loved about her, I give her props. The whole scene with her and the vision thing where she was fighting Master Chief. I don't know, it was just because I wanted to see her get beat up by Master Chief, but I like that scene a lot. The scene where she figures out the well. What's up with the well? With the portal? We got a monitor, bro. The monitor was in the portal. Somebody say it was a 343 Guilty Sparks. I don't know. Who knows how they're doing it in this timeline, but that was definitely a monitor in the portal. And apparently her family for generations has been guarding that portal, and that's what's up with Madrigal, so we'll see what's up with that. I don't know. Venture and his goons track her. So then after she has her vision, it sends her back to where the first battle took place in episode 1. She gets back there. There's all these dead Covenant elites there. She's trying to figure out what's going on. Venture and his goons find out she's there. So he sends in like a whole battalion to kill her. Soren shows up to help her. So then they have their last stand out there, which is a pretty good battle. It was a pretty good action scene, including that final explosion when they blow up the tower. That was pretty cool. But the cool moments in that was when she took the plasma grenade and stuck it to the dude, blew him up. That was very cool. It was very cool. The plasma grenade was dope. She finds Master Chief's assault rifle, and she uses that to blow up the gas tank. And the explosion from the gas tank was pretty good. Visually, it was dope. How it blew up in the whole sky, it was great. Killed Venture with that. That was cool. That's basically episode 7. Okay. Her and Soren part ways. It's cool. She's a protector. I don't remember. Was it protector? I think it was protector. I don't remember. Anyway, that's her story. She's protecting the portal. What's the portal? Hopefully we'll get more into that into next season, future episodes. I don't know. All right, episode 7. Boom. Episode 8. This was a good episode, man. It started off, there's a lot of people that are going to be mad because, spoiler alert, Master Chief got some pussy. Master Chief got some. He got the clap cheeks, okay? There's going to be people that are going to be upset about that. I can care less. That didn't matter with me. It fit the narrative. It worked for the narrative. Especially with how the episode ended, it worked for the narrative. So the episode starts with, this is the penultimate episode. There's only one episode left now, so you had to go down. So after the end, the episode starts with Chief looking in the mirror, still tripping about the vision of him and that him and Makee shared after they with the Halo, and he eventually talks them into he takes Makee out into Reach City, and she's seeing how people live, and she's seeing how beautiful Reach City is. Her and Chief have a connection, and then she almost stabs the little dog with her little laser sword. Eventually, her and Chief end up going back to the room. They had this connection, and that's when they end up hooking up. And why is Cortana watching, bro? It was so weird. But I was like, I'm with it. I don't care. Whatever. It's whatever. But the fact that Cortana was watching was crazy. I was like, this is some sci-fi I can get on board with. But shouts out to Master Chief for clapping cheeks. Okay? He never got to clap no cheeks in the game, so that's an upgrade. He deserves it. All the murder, all the aliens he done murdered, he deserved that. He deserved that. But there's people that was upset, it's not my Master Chief, he would never do that. Whatever, shut up. Go kill yourselves. Stop watching the show. I loved it. It worked for the narrative of this show, especially, again, how it ended. So now him and Master Chief, so Master Chief and Makai actually have a legit connection. I was wondering, is this really legit for her? And it was. And then she pulls out her little laser sword thing. That was graphic, by the way. When she pulled out her little laser sword off her finger, I was like, you guys is doing too much. But she washed it away. She was legit changing for Master Chief. And then Halsey's manipulative ass had everything up. Okay, so in the middle of Chief and Master Chief and Maquis getting it on, the UNSC gets notification that the Covenant just collapsed some planet. I don't even remember the name of the planet. But they're showing it, and it's just lava. It's just lava everywhere. I was just like, oh, that's not good. Like 11 million people. They said like 11 million casualties. It was bad. It was bad. So, Master Chief's like, look, man, we can find the Covenant. We can find this Halo. Maquis can help us. She's us. And they're like, man, you don't overturn years of indoctrination. He was like, I did. So they were gonna let Master Chief allow Maquis to touch the artifact with him there and all that, right? So they're gonna do it. Again, Halsey. Here comes Halsey. Captain Jacob Keyes goes to see Halsey and tells her, you gotta get off Reach. You need to be off Reach by noon. So Halsey's like, alright, fine. Then she uses her little, the little contact lens that she got off her daughter with all her daughter's information to hack into the system. She shuts down all the cams. It was so bad. She shuts down all the comms, excuse me. Tracks a private feed, backlines the Spartans, puts them online and tells them the artifact has corrupted everybody. Nobody's orders can be trusted but mine. My orders now supersede everybody. Zeb protocol is in effect. Go get Master Chief, go get the prisoner and the artifact, bring them to my ship. Don't let nobody stop you. Murder everybody who get in your way. So Vennec, Riz, and Kai all suit up, get ready to go do this. Kai's like, what? What about Master Chief? And they're like, Master Chief ain't gonna go quietly. She's like, Cortana will handle that. Cortana will knock him out. You guys take him. Kai's like, this is not right. Kai's the only one who's suspicious. She's like, this is not right. And Halsey immediately sees that Kai is not on board with this. So she cuts her comms, tells Viz and Rannick so Riz and Vannec knock Kai out, handcuff her to like a bench, and then they go wait to ambush Chief and Cortana. Meanwhile, Cortana is absolutely not cool with this. So she's like, so Halsey's plan is, now that he has Maquis, she don't need Chief, so she's just going to let Cortana completely take over Chief and let Cortana run Chief like a meat suit for the rest of his days. Cortana's not cool with that. So she's like, Chief, they're setting you up. As Chief is on his way to the thing, he realizes, so he's like, what? She's like, Zeb protocol, this is a trap. So he sends Maquis off, and that's when we get this dope fight between Vannec, Riz, and Chief, and then eventually Kai jumps in to help. But before that, Miranda Keyes is in her office, and she finally translates the recording from the ship that Maquis was on, and she realizes, oh, that's Maquis' voice, so she's running to go tell that it was Maquis. Don't trust her. Don't let her touch the artifact. Meanwhile, it's going down so crazy. Vennec, Riz, and Chief are scrapping. I mean, scrapping. Cortana, Chief now kind of trusts Cortana. Cortana's helping him fight Vennec and Riz. She's giving him pointers and everything. She starts the Warthog and tries to run Vennec over. With the Warthog. This thing just pushes the Warthog out the way like a straight champ. my girl Kai, they did her so bad. But there was a cool scene, I gotta remember, there was a cool scene earlier where it showed her just being, she's so in her element now, hanging out with the troops. She's literally lifting this giant, like, 10,000-pound weight on a rope. Everybody's like, yeah, she said, show me something heavy. Then she lifts a warthog. Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. Kai is one of my favorite characters. She just does such a good job. So she's handcuffed to the thing the whole time. She breaks free. She jumps in the fight, and she helps out Chief. So now it's Chief and Kai versus Riz and Vanek. Spartan program's just falling apart. It's just in shambles. All because of Halsey. Then Halsey realizes that Cortana has turned on her and she sided with Chief, so her and the weird dude are all mad. He's like, I knew Cortana would do this, I told you. The whole time. Okay? It's such a little scrap between the four. The whole time. Makee goes to get help from Master Chief. She runs into Parangoski and Jacob Keyes. And he's like, Master Chief got jumped. He's like, what? By the Spartans? He was like, yeah, how do you know? He's like, a voice in his head. They're like, Cortana? They're like, it has to be Halsey. So they realize it's Halsey. And then, at that time, Miranda comes in and is like, yo, she's the one who killed everybody on the ship. Don't let her touch the artifact. And I was like, what? That was you? Oh my God. So then they try to arrest Makee. And you know the one black dude who's been hating on all the squid, who called her a squid head, who was guarding her, he's there. So he takes her down and he starts tasing her on the back like, yeah. So she's tripping. So then she's like, you guys are going to pay for this. So she touches the artifact, boom, blows everybody back, including Chief and the other Spartans who were fighting each other. It blows Chief back onto the Halo vision with Makee. Makee standing over him. She's like, I'm sorry, Chief. And then that's how the episode ends. Boom. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was a great episode, but it was very dramatic. I was like, man, woo! It was a ride. It was very dramatic. It was great, but this was a great episode. This was a great episode. One episode left, and it looks like we gonna get to put up with it. It looks like they going to the Covenant. It's gonna be the big showdown. We're gonna get a huge action piece next episode. So we gonna see. We gonna see. This was a great episode. I don't care what y'all say about him getting whatever. This was a great episode. Thumbs up for me. This is a great episode. I really enjoyed this series. Despite, let me just be clear on this. Despite how bad the Quan Ha story was, this was still a very enjoyable series. Maybe it's just because I'm a fan of the game. Whatever, I don't care. I enjoyed this series a lot. I'm ready for season 2. We still got one episode left. So that's my spoiler review for episode 7 and 8 of Halo. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Click those notifications so you know when we upload. Check out the travel vlogs. And until next time, you know how we do. Peace.
I'ma go to the ends with you. I'ma go to the end with you. I'ma go.